Hi, it's John from White Light Paranormal with another tip. Do you have a DR60 that, let's say you've got your sensitivity set at 3 and you've got your volume dial all the way up, and you turn the sucker on and you ask a question, let's say it's 7 seconds long, and after your question, the 7 seconds just remains on the screen and there's no recording. You're waiting for a spirit reply, but it just sits at 7 seconds. Nothing happens. Well, if that's the DR60 that you have, I may have a solution. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. I've got the sensitivity set at 3 and I've got my volume dial turned all the way up. But with this particular unit, when I hit the record button, it'll definitely record my voice because the voice activation kicks in when it hears my voice. And when I'm done talking, it'll display the amount of time it took in the display screen. But after that, nothing happens. There could be spirits around speaking into this and it won't record their voice. The voice activation will not kick in. How many spirits are in the room with me right now? And who is the President of the United States of America? You can see that it's stuck at 7, and if I kept this going all night, it would just stay at 7. So what do I do about that? One possible solution is to increase the sensitivity. The sensitivity is set to number 3, and you can tell to the right of my finger there are 3 bars. We can change that to 4, 5, 1, or 2. How do we do this? On the back, there's a button just underneath my thumb. You gotta make sure that's pushed to the right. Then you simply go to the mode button, push it, and the sensitivity scale will start to flash. You wanna rotate the dial until that changes to 4. Push in the dial. And now your sensitivity is set to 4. Now this all sounds fine and dandy, but in my experience, the best level to be at is 3. When you change it to 4, sometimes you have the opposite problem, where when you go to record, the counter will just keep going. In the other situation, the first one, the counter doesn't go, but now it just keeps going and voice activation doesn't work. You can play with your unit and see if it works for you, but I've found that oftentimes it creates just another problem. So there is a second solution, and it works better with the DR60s that have a bit of a background hiss. There's some that are quiet and some that have a background hiss when you record. And again, this solution works better with those with the hiss. Now, this is a different recorder than the other one I was showing you. This has the same problem in that when I hit record, it'll just sit there and it won't voice activate. However, there's a little known trick that really works, and to be honest, I've caught some of my best EVPs using this trick, so you might want to try it on your unit regardless. So what I'm going to do during this demonstration is I won't talk because that'll affect the counter, but when I hit the record button, you'll see that the voice activation is not working in silence. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my finger over top of the mic. Now the mic is where all those little holes are, and as I rotate my finger forward, you'll start to see the voice activation. There's a black rectangle in the top left corner. You'll start to see that flash. And I'm gonna move my finger, I'm gonna rotate my finger back and forth until I find that sweet spot where that just starts to flash every second or two. And when you hit that, you wanna just keep your finger in that position. Now, if I rotate my finger completely over that mic, you're gonna have the opposite problem. That counter's just gonna keep going, whereas before it wouldn't go at all. So you want to find that spot just in the middle of the two. Here we go. Okay, so basically I had to play a little bit. I had to rotate my finger back and forth, but I found that sweet spot. And when you find it, just keep your finger there in place, and you might be amazed at the results that you get. Those are 2 operational tips. However, there's other things we could consider as well, like perhaps there are no spirits present, or perhaps we're low energy that day and we're just not connecting with the device. I don't know how and I don't know why, but our own energy seems to play a part in spirit communication. So if you're not feeling it, if it's not working, hand the device to somebody else and see what their energy brings. The device just might be fine, but maybe not at that location or at that atmospheric pressure or at that temperature. So just keep trying. Anyway, I wish you luck with voice activation, and maybe you could try a few of these things and see if it works for you.